about you. Do you ever think of me?
All right, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. Another
Excellent.
night?
How you doing, Jordan?
Good. So I missed the big Michigan trip. You guys just got back, but
It was a blast.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
But probably not tonight, but we'll get there.
Still pretty worn out.
Yeah, I bet. So I'm finally back on the show, and we're sitting in a new location tonight.
Yeah, we're at Stacked Pickle in Fishers off 37. Beautiful place. We have Bryce sitting with us. And Bryce, you are the GM?
I'm the assistant
Assistant GM?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
I haven't been to this one. We came here once, I think, when we first
did.
opened up, and we talked to Amanda, who was here at that time, and said, come on in, do a show, and so we're pretty stoked about that, so it's good to be here.
Absolutely. So, Bryce, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the Stacked Pickle and this location and what you got going on?
So actually, this location was moved from a location on 116th and Allisonville Road. This is just a much better fit for us. It's a beautiful building. There's 9 locations around the city. There's 2 in Carmel, 1 downtown at IPY, obviously this one in Fishers, 2 on the south side, 1 in Greenwood and 1 in Southport, and then 1 in West Lafayette as well. We're all owned by Gary Brackett, the former Colts linebacker, captain of the defense for the Super Bowl championship team.
I did not know that.
He'll appreciate that plug in there.
Excellent.
But yeah, he owns us and his own concept called Georgia Reese's. We're all owned by Brackett Restaurant. So yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about this Stacked Pickle. Where did that name come from?
Yeah, I'm kind of baffled on it.
Honestly, that is a question for the original owner. The rumor is that he started it as a sandwich shop, hence the Stacked Pickle name, but he happened to have some beers on tap and some TVs, and it just turned into the Stacked Pickle that it is now.
So
the
it
sports
just
bar.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking it was because I'd never been here before, so I was thinking there was a theme thing or something, that there was going to be pickles on everything, or all kinds of things.
We're going to get pickles in our beer and
Yeah.
pickle burgers and pickle everything, but
all kinds of classic, artisan pickles and all kinds of
Yeah.
anything lying around.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. There you go. All right. Sounds like a plan.
So what kind of regular events do you have here?
So tonight actually is a Tuesday night. We've got Tuesday night pub polls, which is basically a Family Feud style trivia game. It's pretty fun. And for a general person, you don't have to know a whole lot of trivia related facts, just more of what people would answer the questions, really.
Gotcha.
Wednesday nights we do live music on our patio, which is a gorgeous patio. It's got 2 TVs out there. It's covered. Nice view of our little pond out there. And then other than that, we have some pretty good specials week long. $5 burgers, $5 pitchers on Mondays. Tuesdays are $2, $3 pint nights, and with 20 beers on tap at this location, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Wednesdays we've got $3 off boneless wings and 58-cent regular wings, as well as $3 Blue Moons, $3 house wines, and $3 margaritas.
Nice.
And then a whole bunch of other specials across the week as well.
Is the wings and burgers, is that the big specialty? Is that their forte here? Or?
Yeah, if you notice, our slogan is sports, wings, burgers, and beer, and I think we pretty much tackle all 3 of those in the specials.
Now, what about Sundays? It's got to be a great spot for Sunday to see all the TVs up
Oh,
on
yeah.
the wall.
Yeah. So we have the full NFL package here. We do $12 buckets of domestic beers on Sundays. So 5 beers, $12, or you can do 358 Bloody Marys, because we all know most people on Sunday morning need those Bloody Marys to survive.
At
definitely.
least to start.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I like
can't do
Bloody
that.
Marys anytime, though.
I can't do those. Bloody Mary's never been my thing. I don't get it. We've had conversations about it. Jordan himself supposedly makes a spectacular Bloody Mary. I've seen people order them at places, places he's been before, and he makes a great one. But I can't do the tomato juice and vodka and all that stuff. There's no need for vegetables in my beer.
I'm not a fan of tomato juice, but I love a good Bloody Mary, a nice spicy one.
It's got to be
Sunday morning.
spicy. It's
Yeah.
got to be done right. Yeah.
The key is the hot sauce.
Yes.
I guess it is. Well, you had a weird one. You had a bunch of stuff.
Well,
and your
mine
one you
is I use jalapeno vodka,
make. Yeah, that's,
and then I
yeah.
use the Zing Zang mix, and then I also use a shot of hot sauce. I also use horseradish, A1, Worcestershire, and a little pepper, and a little bit of celery salt.
You have the pickled something, or Brussels sprouts?
I put
something
pickled
in there?
Brussels sprouts and pickled Brussels sprouts and pickled mushrooms in it.
I mean, everybody loved your when you made them. It just took you 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, it
glass.
did take a minute.
Well, now some places are getting really nuts and they're putting food.
Oh yeah,
You know,
just
just
some
straight
of
up
those.
putting pizza and chicken legs and stuff in there.
Whole chickens on
Yeah,
top.
I'm not-
Do you guys do any of that?
We just
kind of
put
standard.
we just put spicy pickles in ours and a little bit of pickle juice.
All
But
right.
That's all you need.
I opted for the burger sliders and boneless wings, but I got shot down on
Got
that
shut
one.
down for throwing it all on there.
Yeah.
With breakfast in a glass, or lunch in a glass, or any kind of meal in a glass. Yeah.
Yeah, but a good Bloody Mary on a Sunday morning is definitely, I'm there. Love it.
Oh yeah,
get
Sundays
it.
football. That's usually what I start with after
I
a
don't
rough
get it.
Saturday. Yeah. So this is a good place to go get one.
Absolutely.
Come on
So
down, get ready for football.
you said Tuesday nights is $2 and $3 pint nights. Now, does that include the local craft beers and everything as well?
That does include the local craft beers. Very seldomly do we put a beer on there that isn't included on that. It does happen occasionally, but for the most part, I mean, you can't beat a $3 Two Hearted.
No.
Not at all. And how's your rotation now doing on most of what you do? I mean, you guys got a good rotation.
Yeah, I try to keep at least 3 or 4 local beers on tap, and the local ones that generally rotate, especially because Indiana's got a big craft beer scene that's booming right now.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. So I try to, I mean, right now we've got Scarlet Lane on, Sun King, Taxman Brewery is on there right now. We're looking at Carson's in the future, and a
Awesome.
couple others, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, the Scarlet Lane, we do some work with Scarlet Lane. They're a great group of people up there. I know you still have the coconut on right now, and it's getting ready to switch to oatmeal. And then after oatmeal, they bring out their espresso, which is my my favorite Dorian.
I don't think I've had that one yet.
The Dorian espresso is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal beer. And I would like the coconut, just my personal taste. I don't like coconut. Otherwise, I guarantee I'd like it. I just don't like coconut.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
so everyone else that says great things about it.
But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the Taxman deduction coming up.
Taxman Deduction is
see
another
that.
good beer.
Yeah, I did see that on the list there. That's not by chance here today, is it?
That actually is on tap today.
Oh, see?
Yep.
Nice.
We should have asked that.
I'll have that a little bit later. It's not like I need to rate that beer again.
No. Taxman's one of our favorite breweries as well.
Oh, yeah.
They do a lot of good stuff as well coming out of Taxman. So, and Quafon's actually local too. You got Quafon on there too.
Yep. We did have the Three Floyds Gumball Head, but I mean that one is like a myth. It's here, and then before you
Gone.
can, it's
Yeah.
gone before you know it.
It's not quite as bad as Zombie Dust.
No, Zombie
Well,
Dust will
sorry,
come and
trying
go in
to
3
get- yeah.
hours. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Exactly, a matter of hours.
All you have to do is post that up on a
Yep.
Facebook post or something somewhere, and a lot of people have it marked down. Like if you're using some of the apps, and they'll have it marked down so that when anybody says they have it, it automatically tells them.
Yeah, like Untapped. If you use Untapped, you can set Untapped to tell you when somebody says they have Zombie Dust, and it'll immediately notify you.
Yeah.
So,
And I myself have gotten up out of bed, as Jordan has told me somewhere. Hey, they got Zombie Dust. Oh crap!
Let's go.
I gotta go drink for the next 3 hours to get my fill, just while it's still there somewhere. Well, they've been doing better. It's been hitting a lot more places up north lately.
Yeah.
At least where we're based at. It's been a good amount of it rolling around.
you kind of got to get on that list, right, to get the Zombie Dust.
Yeah, you have to know somebody.
Yeah.
Owe somebody a favor or something. Yeah.
So now, do you spend a lot of time hitting breweries up and just going around, traveling around, and drinking beer? And
Actually, that's just
Are
a
they
personal.
coming to you?
They're coming to me. Yeah, they come in here. Yeah, I just happen to like the craft beer, so they get lucky when they come in and try to sell me stuff. Other people send them away, but
So speaking of that, what is you got a favorite out there? Or?
I'm a big fan of the Three Floyds. Taxman actually isn't really my style, but I got all my friends really love the Taxman. Right now, I'm really big on the Ballast Point, which isn't local, but it's out of California and it just got here.
That's actually what I'm having. I think you guys loaded up you switched over to the grapefruit sculpin.
Yes, we did. The pineapple's my favorite, but the grapefruit's pretty good too.
I tried, but you guys were out of it.
Yeah, like I said,
Which means
I
good.
rotate them pretty quickly.
And that's great.
yeah,
I mean,
and
if
Ballast
you're-
Point, they make some great beers. I mean, that's pretty stoked that they're in the area now selling, because they do have some very, very good beers. Doing the best in the craft beer world. that's
Did
for
they
sure.
did they get bought out by one of the big boys? Is that what happened to them?
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I
Just
think
think
they just moved. I mean,
got
I think they
bigger.
They moved
grew
up the ladder.
that much. Yeah.
That's awesome. No, that's good.
Yeah. So you've
Yeah.
been drinking, you've been into craft beer for a while, or
Oh yeah,
or, yeah?
yeah.
I've been asking this. I think I've been hitting this on every show now, and I think Jordan was the one who brought it up. What do you remember back? What was kind of your aha beer to get you out of, the standard
Yeah,
Miller Lights and the standard big beers and all that?
it was actually Two Hearted.
Two Hearted.
Yep. In college, of course, we were just drinking kegs of Bud Light, Miller Lite all day, and then one of my roommates brought in a keg of Dragonfly IPA, which at the time I thought it was disgusting, and I told him no one was going to drink it. So the next morning, our keg of Miller Lite's gone, and there's a full keg of Dogfish Head he has to drink by him, Dragonfly he's going to drink by himself. But then years down the line, I don't know, somebody bought a 6-pack of Two Hearted, and I just powered through it, and then after that, I was hooked, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
think
always
that's
like
a
to
pretty
pull those.
standard, especially in this, the Midwest, because Bell's have been around now and so big for so long that 200's got a lot of people started in the craft world. I mean, it's a fantastic beer.
We got the transition beer kind of away from the standards.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. What brings people to the Stacked Pickle that's different from other places around here?
I think, we try to be that sports bar where we kind of have the family feel to it, so we welcome everyone with families, but really the value is what we bring to the table. I mean, you can't beat, on the weekends we do a burger wing combo for $9.49. You can't really beat that. Especially you can go to B-Dubs and get a burger and wings. It's going to set you back $20 and we'll peg you for less than half of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, that's what really we bring to the table, and the homey vibe,
Yeah.
We like our servers to express themselves and their personalities. We don't come at you with the big corporate agenda and anything like that.
Right.
At least we try not to.
No, you definitely don't.
No,
Definitely
yeah.
don't. I think that Sunday, we're talking about football because they're coming to the football season, but a family restaurant like this where the guys can go out on a Sunday and bring their family in is good, because a lot of times they're stuck at home or you don't want to go into a B-Dubs. B-Dubs, it is loud, and I don't like going in there on Sundays. This is a place I want to go to and be able to relax and still watch a game and like you said, get a great meal and a great price.
So just to go back to the Ballast Point thing, they were picked up by Constellation Brands for $1 billion.
Oh, Lord.
Constellation is the world's largest wine producer and owns most of the Mexican beer brands such as Corona, Negra Modelo, Pacifico, and some of the others.
Oh, really?
So that's where their marketing power came from, and their distribution power to be able to get from
Distribution,
California to get out here. So they weren't bought by like InBev
Right.
or SAB. They
That's
were
good.
bought by a different company that is controlling them now. So they're still micro-ish. They're not part of
Right.
that big conglomerate.
Right. That's good.
Thought I better look that up so we gave out some accurate information.
What? We don't trade in accuracy. And come on.
They'll come back and tell us, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah, we do. We got Clark sitting over there quiet now. He corrects us all the time.
Sure. Yeah. After the fact.
A little bit. Now, what about whiskey, bourbon? Are you? You said you're a craft beer fan, but do you like get into the whiskeys at all? Or?
I get into the bourbons actually,
Yeah.
too. I think that was because I don't know, a couple of years ago, Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale was pretty big, and that.
Oh, yeah.
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 I got that flavor of whiskey in my mouth, and now I really enjoy bourbon. I mean, that's pretty much it, though. I'm not into the Irishes or the Scotches or anything like that.
I seem to be leaning more towards it. I've never been much of a brown liquor, kind of fan. Vodkas and stuff were what I grew up on, but I've gotten more into them. And I think as Brennan teaches me or takes me a few places, I think Scotches seem to do a whole lot better for me.
You and I both, brother.
Yeah, you just gotta
Well,
find your
yeah.
palate and keep trying stuff. That's
'Cause
for sure.
I had a couple. What was that? I had something over at another place, and it hurt. It hurt too much, even with a big old ice cube in it. It was burning, and then
Yeah, that was expensive.
it was expensive.
Expensive
lesson.
glass of crappy bourbon.
Yeah, it was. It was a bourbon too, and it was harsh.
I'll take a glass of Evan Williams over that any day.
Yeah, let's say this: it was a $30 mistake.
So you
for
guys
a
do as
glass.
much as you have. You guys have a great craft selection here, but you also do have some great bourbons and whiskeys up there
Oh,
on the
yeah.
shelf as well.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of that kind of crowd that comes in.
Yeah, I think more now that we've gone with the Georgia Reese's side of things. They really promote bourbon, but just through effect of us being the same company really with them, we've gotten a lot more bourbons in, and right now I think I've got some Knob Creek, some Woodford, the Bullet. We had Angel's Envy until the distributor ran out of stock of that. Don't know if we can get that back, but that just tells you how good it is.
Well, yeah, that can be.
But yeah, we've got several good bourbons up there, and then I keep a really good whiskey selection up there, of course, and as well as your vodkas and everything like that.
Yeah, I was excited about Bullet being here tonight because that's what brought me back to bourbon was Bullet. One of the first ones I ever had was Jim Beam. which they make some great stuff. But at the time, I had that white label stuff when I was young, and it totally turned me off of bourbons because it was just a horrible product. It was nasty. And so I thought, well, I just don't like bourbon. So I stayed away from them, started drinking Scotch for years and loved them. And I think it was Bullet Rye that, holy cow, this is really, really good. It was a completely different flavor. That rye was amazing. And I said, well, okay, maybe we'll try some more bourbons. I started drinking. I got into, the rye whiskey's quite heavy for quite a while, and now I still love them. But it was Bullet that brought me back to bullets and bourbon and whiskey. So glad they're here. Can't wait to get some on here tonight.
Well, Jordan, what'd you switch off? I mean, what's you said you're Scotch man still too? A little more Scotch?
I am very, very subdued, and I don't like to speak much on whiskey yet because I don't like to speak about something I don't really know and or understand yet. I didn't like it at all until this show started, and then Brendan and Cowboy took it upon themselves to be determined enough to make sure that I tried everything until they found something I liked. They were determined that I would find some kind of whiskey product that I enjoyed. So I've had several. They always choose. I chose once in our history, and it turned out to be a complete and utter disaster.
Yeah, you sure did do that one. We did a trip down south, and we let Jordan pick a whiskey in Nashville somewhere, and yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, it was Montana
awful.
whiskey.
Wyoming
whiskey, yeah.
Yeah, I think he just liked it because it rhymed or something,
No, the bartender suggested it, and I think she knew I was a sucker.
Right. She knew you were a tourist. So that's like those ladies who convince you to buy them a glass of champagne and it ends up being $100 because they work for the bar.
Exactly. So they usually choose what I'm drinking, and then they ask me what I think, and then they adjust based on that. So Brendan will be the one to tell you more that I like Scotch than anything else because that's what he tells me, and I just have to listen to what he's telling me at this point. I don't have enough of an opinion on it myself to be able to speak intelligently on it, so I don't try.
You like the peppier,
right,
pepper-flavored whiskeys, so I think, and you've had a few Scotches now that you have liked, so I think that's kind of your palate.
Absolutely.
But I think you'd be pleased tonight with the Bullet Rye. I think you really enjoy it, so I'm excited to get into that.
I will say, like I said, more money does not necessarily make it better.
No, and that's even true in craft beer. If you think about it, I mean, if I go out and spend, just because you charge me $12 for a craft beer doesn't mean it's any better than the one I paid $6 for.
Yeah.
It's just not.
A lot of times it's just the name, and just like, but no, that's why I like bourbons and whiskey too, because Scotch, if you have a cheap Scotch, it's pretty much going to be a bad Scotch. You do have to spend a little bit more money to get a good Scotch. Now to get into bourbons, you can find some very, very good bourbons at a very affordable prices, for easy drinking that you can't get in the Scotch world. So, that's another good reason that you go with good bourbon, like Bullet.
Speaking of getting back to something though, I think we wanted to do a sample one I don't think we've had yet. Get a few glasses of that and get a rating on that. Where we're going for the New Belgium Heavy Melon, which I've never actually seen or tried before.
I haven't either. I don't think any of us have. So this is probably a good place to take a break here in just a second. Do you have anything else you want to tell us about the place before we take a break here?
No thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man.
No problem.
Love having you on.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Kelly from 18th Street Brewery, and you are listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
This is Greg with the Noblesville Brewfest. Our event is September 24th from 3 to 7 p.m. in beautiful Forest Park in Noblesville. Come out and join us for a wonderful day. We're going to be sampling close to 300 different beers and somewhere around 75 wines. We have food trucks, free cornhole, designated drivers are free, and free bottled water for the patrons. Come on out.
All right, so we are back. We had to take a quick break there, and I thought we were just going to get a beer, right? So I come back to the table after a quick smoke break. I have 2 big glasses of cocktails and a giant beer in front of me. I thought I was just getting a beer sample. I'm not complaining. No. Don't get me wrong. But damn.
Well, we were talking about all that Bullet bourbon, so Bryce said, screw it, let's bring a rep in. So we called a rep real quick, and they brought us some bourbon.
They did.
I mean, I now have a 16-ounce sample of beer and a whole lot of cocktails in front of me, man. Yeah, it's the rest of this conversation might get a little bit strange.
That's all right. That's how we roll.
Is according to Win?
Yeah.
So let's we added somebody to the table tonight. So
yay!
You want to introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, my name is Sam, and that's all I can go on for right now. Considering that I'm going to have to go by a pseudonym when I start doing stand-up and becoming a little bit more famous.
Well, actually, real quick, since you are on the show, we do have Sam with us, and he does do stand-up at...
Well, right now it's been at the Fox and the Hound, No Cover Tuesdays.
Right.
Taking this particular month off. So, but... Yeah, if you want no comedy, you want comedy?
No Comedy Tuesday?
Yeah, no Comedy Tuesday because we're not funny at all. Not funny. No, we're totally funny. Totally
Sounds
funny.
like a horrible show.
Yeah, it's an awesome show. It's an awesome show. The crowd is really lively. They like to participate. But, yeah.
Do you like them to participate?
Actually... Yes.
Usually?
Sam's it depends on which...
it depends on who's there.
Which bit you're doing, too, though.
Yeah, it does depend. Yeah,
I've seen a couple of yours.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're rolling through your stuff, and other times, you try to get them involved.
Yeah, I try to get them involved, but it's fun. It's fun.
What stinks is there you can't turn off their mic.
That's
what stinks, you know.
Yeah, no, but then again, I am louder than them, so I could totally riff on them, and whatever they're saying, I can totally ignore whatever they're saying. Just keep going in. But in that particular setting, you kind of want to keep it professional and not alienate the crowd.
No.
I mean, get them involved, but not really go off on them. And that particular type of style, like insult comedy or whatever, it's not really my thing. I like to talk about my life because it's funny as always. I do like how the first time you guys got me on, you're trying a melon beer. I appreciate that.
What was the last?
Unfortunately,
melon beer.
This would be much funnier if everybody could see Sam right now and understand the complexity of this joke because it is funny.
Yeah, it's a funny joke because I'm a black guy.
And we are drinking a watermelon beer. But it wasn't intended that way. He came
That
up
was
after
the
he had
first
already
one.
ordered the beer.
That was the first one.
Yeah. First one's free.
So, Pat, go ahead and tell us what we're drinking here. What are we trying out?
This is the New Belgium Heavy Melon.
Yes.
Brewed with juicy watermelon and zesty lime peel. As it says, this crushable ale rips with a blast of melon notes. That's what it says here. That's what their description was on it.
I was pretty I was excited to try this because a melon beer.
I didn't read the watermelon part. I was thinking maybe it was a different melon. Like maybe they'd gone with like a honeydew
That's
or
watermelon.
Or something like that. And
They probably should have.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, probably honeydew would have been a lot better for that. Or maybe a cantaloupe, but
I don't even know if it's that. There's a weird.
It tastes like the watermelon rind.
it's definitely
the lime in there with the watermelon. Maybe
it's like the watermelon rind. Right when you get to the white part,
it's the lime
just
in
like, and then the lime on top of it. So it's like, oh, so I'm just drinking rind beer, watermelon rind beer. I'm not sophisticated like you guys, so
I'm not gonna kill it on it. It's okay. I don't taste the watermelon at all. I taste like a lime.
Yeah, I'm getting more lime,
like a Bud Lime or something. It's a standard kind of ale with a lime in it. That's all I'm getting. I'm getting no note of watermelon.
I definitely get that watermelon after, but I think it is heavy lime.
I think what's burning it all.
I'm going to go with Sam and say I taste that white part of it's not the fleshy red delicious watermelon. It's that when you get down too far and you go, oh wait, now I'm done with that piece because I bit into that white shit that's at the bottom of
Well, that's the bitter. I think when I was seeing the heavy melon, I was expecting a sweet.
I was expecting something sweeter.
Sweet fruit beer. Mm-hmm. Something more. But this is a bitter beer.
Maybe if I put some salt on it, it'll taste better.
I would say maybe
salt on the rind.
Yeah, salt on the rind.
Throw a shot of tequila in it.
No. That'd totally throw it off. Though maybe it'll make it sweeter. I can ingest it that way.
You can make a lambic out of it or something.
That might be good if you soured this up. I think that would actually go.
Tastes like
not that I've had really good New Belgium stuff. New Belgium has some really good sours.
Yeah,
they make a La Folle. I think we reviewed one up in Michigan when we were up there.
Yeah,
there was another New Belgium, and it was a sour. It was either might have been a lambic.
Now, I'm not saying that this is the worst beer I've ever had.
No.
If you haven't had a melon type beer, go out and try it. It's not. It's worth a try. You can drink it. It's not. that bad. It's just not what I was expecting it to be.
There's nothing off-putting where it's a bad beer. Anything
Right.
like that at all. It's just not my style. I
Yeah,
mean,
don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to come on and bash it. It's just
There's
not
no-
what I expected. I expected
No.
a little bit, like Pat's saying, something a little bit sweeter. And just have that water refreshing taste, like you bite into a watermelon or stuff. But that's what I was expecting. I did not get that.
I'm not tasting a blast of melon notes.
No,
I don't get that.
If
Okay.
you're considering the blast to be the rind, then yes, there's tons of that. Just swish it around in your mouth and just open. It'll totally be good.
There's no seeds, so that's good.
Yeah, there you go.
And Clark agreed with us too. I saw him over there shaking his head. He said, "No, there's no blast of melon.
No, there's no sweetness to it at all.
No."
It's clean, like I said. It's
I
clean.
think that's what
it's
everyone-
good. It's.
I mean,
nothing
yeah, I
that's
mean-
bad.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is clean. I mean, it's it's no lingering aftertaste.
I want to know if they made this with actual watermelon or if this is a watermelon flavoring. Because I'm feeling like if they would have made it with actual watermelon, you would have pulled a ton of sweetness out of secondary with that watermelon.
Well, yeah. If you're tossing up, man, if you just immersion blended a whole bunch of the watermelon stuff and then toss
Puree.
that in secondary.
And maybe that was too sweet. Maybe that's I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, guess we'd have to research a little more, and maybe we'll be able to get New Belgium on someday, and we can just ask them. Not because we.
What the hell did you do with that watermelon beer?
Yeah. Well, no, because we try not to do that around here. Normally, I know on the show we
Nobody said it
make
was
our
bad.
critique. But we've had some that are
Well, if
bad,
it's
but
bad,
it's still
bad,
a
but I don't
critique.
think this is bad beer. I'm not a fan of it.
No, not at all.
It'd
No.
be more like asking them, what did you want the in person,
Right.
the consumer to
Yeah.
get out of this? What takebacks did you want from
Yeah.
it?
It is that that's a good point. And there's the craft beer now is there's so many of them out there, and people are trying to do the weirdest, craziest stuff. Is you don't know what they're going for really. Some of them, because there are some crazy flavors out there, and what were they going for? Were they looking for more sweetness, for more tart? I mean, you don't know.
Right.
So that's a very good point. Is you don't know what they were going after, their end result was attempting anyway.
They may have achieved what they wanted.
They
with
could
this.
be,
Obviously, they did. They released it. It
there's
was.
a lot of beers I don't like. That doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's not a good beer. It's just
Right.
not my style.
And I just find it funny. You can tell how much we're getting into our own home brewing because suddenly the discussion went towards, well, I wonder where they put that watermelon in at.
Yeah.
Did they put it in the mash? Did they boil it? Or did they put that? Because if they put that in secondary, it had to have been sweet. I mean, you can tell.
Plus, we're being nicer about stuff now when we don't like it because there are a lot of people that bash our beer.
That might be a good point, too,
Hey, remember?
Our beer is not bad, I mean,
Maybe it's not the one for you, but
Sam tried our stout tonight. He liked it.
yeah. And I immediately had to go home and eat 4 slices of pizza because you're trying to have me messed up.
No, that was from the Saison. That was the 7.4% Saison you drank that probably messed you up.
You didn't like that?
No, I liked it.
Oh, it just messed you up.
I decided to skip lunch, which was a bad
Yeah.
on my part.
And
Because
then
it's hey, come over and try some of the beers. Cool, I'll try some of the beers. Oh, yeah, this one is 7.2. What?
So I heard. Speaking of that, though, I heard Clark decided that he was just going to drink Dragon's Milk like it was water, and didn't realize. Oh, hey, I was just drinking them, and
No,
7 Dragon Milks later.
no, I realized because I knew after the third one, I went, yeah, this is going to end badly.
After the third one.
At that point, you were just like,
He told me
you got to keep going.
I had the worst hangover ever. Oh, really? What'd you drink? Well, I lost track after 7 Dragon's Milks. I was like, well, yeah, dude. That made Dragon's Milks. You're in trouble.
And that's not counting the 3 or 4 PBRs I had
Oh, dear
before
God.
that.
And what is wrong with you?
So you just totally went crazy on vacation, huh?
No,
Was that
this
big-
was last
No,
weekend.
that was not
No, this is
vacation.
over the weekend.
That was a
Vacation,
Tuesday.
I had to drive everywhere. I had
Or
to watch
Thursday.
Oh, my. So you just decided it's you know what? I got a couple of days off. I can lose a Saturday.
Yes.
And a
Okay.
Sunday.
you know where he works. Sometimes we need that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get that. That's why you got me on slow time there.
All right, so let's Bullet Whiskey.
Yeah, let's switch up because they've been real nice to us. They brought us some good treats, I guess it would be.
Tasty treats. Yes,
tasty,
they did.
Tasty treats.
A couple cocktails.
And there's one of the big bourbons here, or the big. That's one of the things here at the Stacked Pickle is they carry the Bullet.
Yes.
And some of the other standards, the Knob Creeks, and the as Bryce was saying earlier.
Yeah, they have good beer and they got some good
Good
whiskey
beer,
and
yeah.
bourbons on the shelf. So yeah, and
But
they brought us a. They
What
begin
about
with
the
a
pickles,
little,
though?
What?
No pickles.
No pickles. We
They had
had that
pickles.
discussion.
We did have that discussion.
Oh yeah.
Nobody knows
Nobody knows. It was the previous owner that named it that, and they don't know why.
because he owned a deli.
It may have been more of a sandwich style
Sandwich
place,
shop,
and it just
kinda.
kind of turned into a sports bar, and he just kind of went with
Yeah.
it. And
He
then
kind of kept the name.
So we got the name. We're just gonna go with it.
Oh, I had that too. I was like Stacked Pickle. I told him I was expecting to see like some cool like artisanal.
I'm not seeing a whole lot. I'm not seeing a whole lot of pickle
No,
theme.
I was well, not even theme. I was thinking there'd be artisanal pickles or some kind of weirdly, a bunch of stacks of jars of homemade pickles and all that.
I
kind
mean,
of
like
stuff.
some garlic pickles or some like spicy pickles or something
Uh-huh.
like that to go on a sandwich or a
But
burger.
He
It's
said,
gotta be totally
he said
cool.
maybe again, maybe in the future. That's what Bryce said.
Maybe
Pat
in the
really
future.
just wanted someone to slip my pickle.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean,
Come on,
hey.
man. Now you just made everybody uncomfortable, Jordan.
no. I mean,
Because
like,
this group gets so uncomfortable so fast.
no, I was just thinking of like, really, you're the one that likes the pickles the most, though.
Jordan
I do.
does. Jordan will drink the pickle juice.
oh yeah,
I mean,
I do it at work all the time.
It's
yeah,
nasty.
Well, it's
totally,
perfect
totally
in the morning.
all on the pickle juice, like in the back, just two fisting it.
Oh, that's
pickle
good.
juice,
It's a
Ugh.
great thing to do. In the
face,
morning.
neck, and chest.
You.
We have a 5-gallon bucket of pickles. Our pickles come in a 5-gallon bucket.
You take a bath.
I go back there and I dip out like a 6-ounce cup of pickle juice and I just drink it. They all go,
Nasty.
There's
I'm
nothing
like,
wr-
it's good.
That is
nothing
nasty.
wrong with
Or
Yes,
great
there
for a
is.
hangover.
Well, for a
it's a
hangover,
hangover
sure,
killer,
but
yeah.
not for lunch.
Well, if that's when your hangover is,
I mean, that's generally when my hangovers hit. Is around lunchtime. It's like, oh crap, here we go.
you get that when you wake up, like I don't feel too bad. But a couple hours, they're like, oh my god.
They actually say pickle juice is damn near as good as Gatorade to
Yeah.
get you going after a
Yeah.
hangover.
Well, because that was the
Less
initial start
sugar.
of Gatorade.
Well, less sugar though, than like Gatorade stuff.
Well,
so.
yeah,
It's
and I don't
better than Gatorade.
do sugar.
All right, so let's get on to this first cocktail. So we're gonna go with the BLT.
BLT.
So the BLT is
I'm missing the bacon.
So they,
no bacon.
this
Okay.
is the Bullet Bourbon.
It says fun facts from our friends over at Bullet. According to Tom Bullet, at least, the BLT is his wife Betsy's little treat. Has the bourbon, the lemon, and the tonic.
Okay.
So
Betsy's
this is
little
just a
treat.
straight little bourbon, which,
I like
according to them too, though, the Bullet Bourbon has so much rye, it's almost a rye whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So even their regular bourbon's got a lot of rye
Yes. Yeah.
in it. So it's 68% corn, 28% rye, which is more than half of what's mandated to be considered rye whiskey.
Right.
Good Lord.
And I mentioned that earlier. That's one of the reasons I came back to bourbons was Bullet because
Really?
of that rye, and I love that rye flavor. And I started drinking strictly rye for a while, then started branching out after that because there are a lot of good bourbons and whiskeys out there. But the Bullet rye, I really, really enjoy. This is just the plain Bullet, but again, like you said, it has a lot of rye in it already.
Because this is the rye.
Yeah.
This
But
one
that-
right here.
Well, no, they're both.
this
the
is
BLT
just
is just
the
the
BLT
bourbon,
is strict bourbon,
but it has a
there
lot
is
of rye in it.
Yes, that one. The one with the lemon. So, being the newbie in the whiskey scene, as I said earlier, I never try to speak intelligently about something that I'm not intelligent about. I do think this has a good flavor. I don't know what it tastes like straight. I'd be curious to taste it straight
Oh, I think we have to do that before
because
night's over.
I do like it in this cocktail. So I'm guessing straight I would probably like it as well. And I don't know, Brendan, do I like rye whiskey? You're my
think-
whiskey guru, so I don't know.
Again, I think you'll like the rye. I think you'll like the Bullet. You may not like the Bullet rye as much. I think you'll like the Bullet because it's a little bit softer, but it's still got that rye flavoring in it. But I'm not sure. I don't think you've had rye yet with me, so I don't know
Yeah,
if
he
you're
has.
going to like the rye whiskey yet.
Not this one. We've had it in Nashville. He had a rye, and it was.
Oh, we did have rye.
We
I
had
might
we
have-
had one or two ryes
Okay.
while we were down there, but there was a lot of alcohol flowing. So
I was going to say there's a lot of alcohol some of those days. so
it was
may
a
have
lot-
all mixed into one that day.
Well,
was
this is
a
the
little
perfect one to
harsh.
try. I mean, the Bullet rye and
On
the
our
Bullet
next one
whiskey
later.
is a brilliant way to try it. So,
Well, I'm
but
good
yes,
with this.
we got to do it straight.
It's got the tonic. I mean, it's
good
I
drink.
think the tonic smooths it out a lot, obviously, and not too sour. Not really. It's pretty good. Clark.
I'm not a real big whiskey drinker. I like a lot of the rums. Is what I usually.
I feel like more a sweeter kind of
Yeah,
liqueur.
it's got a good flavor. They both have got a good flavor to them. It's just I'm more of a rum guy, or
But mixed in this cocktail, it still works out pretty well. It's a decent, easy drinking cocktail. No burn on that
See,
one
I'm,
at all.
I'm complete opposites. I don't like the sweetie stuff. I don't like rums, but I usually drink my bourbon straight. But it's this is a good drink. It's a
Well,
good cocktail.
and it's not sweet.
Yeah.
Just
No,
adding
it's
a
got-
little bit of
it's got
tonic
the
doesn't
tonic in
add
there,
that
so it's
sugar
good.
to it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But this might be a good way to get somebody who's not a whiskey drinker started on whiskey.
Well, that's
Start them off with a cocktail like this, and they're like, "Oh, that's good."
Mm-hmm.
And then start cutting out the tonic and cutting out the
Right.
lemon little by
Yeah.
little till you get down to
Yeah.
actual sipping whiskey.
If
Right.
this is harsh for them, you don't give them a straight.
Hell no.
You start off on this. You're at this level right now.
So
Just
Sam,
a
what
little by little.
did you think about it?
So
The BLT.
the BLT, I liked it. It was a different finish for me and stuff. So, but it's not that bad. Not that bad. I wouldn't mind ordering it and drinking it and stuff. If that's what's gonna be.
Nope.
I would say if on a drinking level wise, this would be my. I'm out hanging out, and just gonna be my drink of the night type deal.
A good easy drink. And,
Yeah, good easy drink.
This is more sitting outside too. This one's
Yeah.
good. This one's good for being in the heat.
Well, look at
Bullet.
that.
It does say here though, Bullet doesn't have its own distillery. Jordan, you're the one always looking up stuff too. I'm running the board, but they actually don't have their own distillery.
So
They distill all their stuff on other companies' properties, but the very first distillery is due to open this year in Shelbyville.
I don't okay, wait a minute. What?
That's what it says.
So they
Bullet
take somebody
does not
else's
have its own distillery.
So they take somebody else's whiskey.
Equipment.
No, because this
They
is
use someone else's equipment.
This is an old. The Bullet recipe was a very old family recipe. I don't know what the old guy's name was. Augustus. They're all named Augustus back then. He disappeared on a whiskey run. He was going to deliver bourbon and he disappeared. They don't know what happened to the guy. Now, like 100 years later, his ancestor found. I don't know how this came about or what the recipes were, but it's an ancestor that started redoing the old recipe. So I didn't know. I assumed he had his own distillery, but I guess
No.
not. But
Okay,
it is
so-
a
so
family.
how-
it's a
right
family
now-
recipe.
Right now, it's currently brewed in Louisville.
It is Louisville.
It's Louisville.
We were there.
Okay, so they go to somebody's place and say, "Here, make our
Yeah.
whiskey for us."
Yeah.
How's that even work out?
Well, Sam, think of it this way. You've been on the Miller Tour several times.
Okay.
When Pabst closed in Milwaukee, they needed a place to still brew their beer. So they contracted the brewers at Miller to brew the beer. Here's our recipe, brew our beer, we'll pay you for that.
Okay.
Same principle.
Okay.
Make more sense that way?
Yeah, it does make more sense, but I'll get on to something else on that
Oh,
one.
I
But
did-
it's like,
yeah.
but like, how do you not get your whiskeys
I
mixed?
did. Oh no, it's all clean. No, you brew your batch and you throw that somewhere else, and no, it's all cleaned up and distilled.
Okay.
No, I did finally find the fun fact that said that though. But yeah, it's currently distilled at the Stitzel-Weller Distillery in Louisville. Though there is some people say there's some discrepancy. I guess some Sapporo and Kirin, very much used in sushi bars and great for sake bombers.
Absolutely.
But Kirin actually owns one of the distilleries for Bullet too, so it's brewed all over the place. It's just actually kind of interesting.
So the people that make Sapiro,
Brew it for we'll distill.
We'll
are
distill
distilling
the
some of them. The Kirin Brewery Company, Four Roses Distillery. Yeah.
bought and sold.
They're all over the place. I
Which
guess.
is interesting because the beer we had earlier was actually the Sculpin, the what is it called? Ballast Point.
the Ballast Point.
Was bought by the company that's the biggest winemaker in the world and also owns all the Mexican beer labels like Corona and all of those.
Weird. They're getting all into. Well, they're grabbing up the little. Some of the big ones are. It's a lot of collaboration going on.
But the big, I don't even mind the bigger ones, the slightly bigger ones grabbing up some of the little guys. It helps them with distribution. What I don't like is Big Brother InBev coming in because
Right.
that's like Big Brother. That's like government type
Oh, yeah.
size coming
Right.
in and swooping up. That I have issue with.
Yeah, how do you guys honestly feel about that? It's like you got, it's like I get, like you helping, broaden the market or whatever, getting the product out to more different people. But when you got someone huge coming in and just buying, these smaller breweries or smaller distilleries and just sitting on the product or just not doing anything good for them, and like, why would they,
It depends on their involvement.
I see both sides. I get why the brewer would do it and say, "Hey, here's a good product. Someone wants to pay me $1 billion for it right now. See ya."
Yeah.
And they're not like they're going to stop making beer. They can go home and start making beer again.
Right.
The guys who like the craft, but I mean, I know I always say this before. I didn't really think about it that way in their eyes before until one of us said that to us. So yeah, I guess I understand that. But for us, it's like I don't want to see it change. I don't want to see innovation change because I love this brewer, I love what these guys are doing. I think this got bought out, and now we got these 4 beers that they're always going to make, and
that's it.
And
no more experimentation.
There's no more experimentation. The brewers that were there are gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, now they're just repeating recipes, which is okay. Well, great, but so
it's that level of, like I'm saying, it's that level of how deep do they get in and control them after that once they're bought, or do they just kind of buy them, let them distribute, but still let them do their own thing?
Right. Well, the thing is too is how much we care about, especially nowadays. Well, we want to be more local. We don't want these big guys buying up everything because they're killing all the little guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the Walmarts and shit destroyed the downtown businesses. Those guys are gone, and it stinks. I mean, there's that's a lot of jobs that are gone.
I'm not.
Well, they're on the comeback, though.
And they are because there are a lot. Like I said, there are like people that know. Let's get these local things going and buy local and then get this money back into the communities, and which is why it's great to have these. Like Indianapolis, because it's such a great craft brewery scene. And
I'm not going to mention names, but as an example, we know of a couple breweries that we do like, but we've all said that their mainstream beers are okay. They're not great. They're okay. But then when you go on site to their location, the stuff that they're trying out, their experimental beers, their small batch beers, are more than okay. They're phenomenal. When they get bought out by InBev, you lose that portion.
Right.
You get those 4 mainstream beers, and that's all you get. You don't get that small batch stuff that,
we'll talk about, we'll even say Three Foots, because Zombie Dust, if it's there, when, it goes for it, they have a great advertising scheme for it, and it's sold, but that's by far their best beer. They make so many other great beers, but you have to go there and get them.
Right, exactly.
Stuff that I don't like. I'm not a Gumball Head fan by any means.
And there's ones that we've been to where they had a beer and they just said, let's try something different. Let's sour it. Let's do this. Let's do that. And you go inside and you're like, wow, this is phenomenal. And they're like, that's just, you can only get that here in the tap room.
No, I'll call that.
It might be 2 years before it's back again.
I'll call that one. Speaking to the pickle, Flat 12, man, that cucumber one that they pickled in a barrel.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome!
Amazing, and they just on the whim.
It was
they had
literally
a cucumber Kolsch. They decided to sour it. They called it a pickle beer,
and it is. It tastes
unreal.
It tastes like pickle juice, but you can only get it. It was small batch, only there, and it literally tastes like pickle juice. And I'm not a big fan, but I could drink a couple bottles of that, and it was refreshing.
Prime example: if InBev came in today and bought Flat 12, you would never see that.
Now, and one of the arguments, and this came from Redemption, and it was a good point that look at Goose Island. They're making a whole bunch of different beers, and they're good beers. And I was like, okay, that is a good point, but still, that money's not all going back to Chicago or something. You know what I mean?
No.
It's getting dispersed out of where it came from too. So it goes back to it's not local anymore, and I want to keep building the local community.
You want to put dollars into local communities.
Right.
Once you get bought by InBev, your money is going back to Belgium, and then getting distributed however you know.
It stinks because I wanted to not like Goose Island, because some of their products are horrible. Their main ones, but they have their Bourbon County line is amazing, and they do have some great beers. So
they do. And see, you hate 312, and I like it. So
yeah, I don't like that.
But we don't always agree on beers on the show, so it's all good.
312's not bad.
Let's move on to the other one.
Circling back to the bullet.
To the bullet, yes. Sorry, we tried the BLT, and I think we all agreed that it was a good drink.
Yeah,
it was definitely a good drink.
Good, solid cocktail.
I'm curious to try it on its own without being mixed in a beverage.
That's gonna happen. That's
then what's the next one called?
This is the RGL. So this is the Bullet Rye, ginger beer and lime.
Okay, so Bullet Rye with ginger beer and lime.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else they put in it because it's an awfully full glass. Other than never mind. Sorry, my brain just took a fart there for a second. No, the ginger beer. Sorry,
Sam.
I meant how much. I meant how much. I'm curious to see how much rye they put in it versus the ginger beer.
Sorry, Sam. No watermelon or grape juice in this one.
That's fine. I love ginger beer, so let's go with this one.
It's probably an ounce and a half of rye in there with.
But I might have hijacked somebody's sample.
Well, it's definitely got a little more flavor to it. But that's the ginger. Yeah, I got the ginger. It smooths out the rye really well.
Yeah.
How's yours, Brendan?
Probably tastes just like yours. But
Sorry, what's your take on the
as much
RZL?
I'm not as happy with this one because I do love the bullet rye, and to me, it's taking away from the bullet rye.
Too sweet?
A little bit too sweet, the ginger beer. I think all these components I like by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them together.
Which ginger beer did they use? Do we know?
I have no idea.
No clue.
I'd rather the tonic and the regular bourbon I like better.
Yeah.
Someone just the comedian just knocked his funny bone.
Which is not so funny.
It is.
So funny.
That's why they call it the funny bone, because everybody else laughs
funny and
at
entertaining
you.
for you guys. I mean, that's pretty much what my comedy is. Destroy myself. Destroy myself.
Poor
We're
baby.
still adult at where we can ask them, like, so, what you mix this with?
Oh, no, we'll get back to them. Don't worry. I mean, ginger beer is ginger beer. Well, when they say
No,
ginger,
not all ginger beer is ginger beer.
I'm thinking ginger ale, but now there's all kinds of, like, artisanal ginger stuff, too.
I love ginger stuff. Love it.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
I love ginger. Like I said, I like it on its own, but I don't like ginger.
Sorry, took a minute. Sam caught the ginger part.
I was picking up what you
knew
were
where
putting
you were
down.
going with that.
Freckles.
They stopped talking about beer for a second.
Ginger. I love ginger stuff.
Yeah.
I like the ginger on the island. She's good.
Oh, yeah, that was, until you realized that, no. Which one?
Ginger.
No, who was ginger on the island? I was
don't know the actress name, but the lady.
Oh, that one. Okay, I was thinking. Well, we were just on an island in Michigan, so I thought you meant that island. I'm like, I don't remember seeing any gingers on that island.
Time out. You were talking about Gilligan's Island, right?
He was.
Okay, I was just making sure.
He was on Mackinac Island. All right, he's on Mackinac Island. I get
What
it.
happened on Mackinac Island?
I don't know. I
Apparently,
missed
he's
ginger.
still stuck there.
Well,
no,
apparently,
it was just the last
Brendan got the
island we were
ginger
on.
and Pat was humping the professor.
No.
Well, I mean, that's cool.
Well,
if
he
you
made like
that.
he made like a ancient reference to an ancient sitcom, and I thought I was the old one here.
But I got it.
And
So
what
did
he?
I.
I thought I
So
was
did
the
he.
old one. No, Sam and I were on a different ginger wavelength.
Well, no, we were talking about gingers in general.
yeah.
Though
We
I
went
was
way off
told
track.
I do have permission to have a ginger with blue eyes, but it has to be of the Asian persuasion.
What?
Yeah.
That's
A
different.
ginger with blue eyes and Asian. I don't
Yep.
think that's genetically possible, but
No,
okay.
that's easy nowadays, though.
Contact lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Lots of contact. All right. So, well,
This one I
it's
don't.
okay. It's too sweet for me. I like it. Too sweet.
Which you have to get. We're definitely getting the sample of the bullet rye on
Straight
its
up.
own.
Straight
'cause
shots.
Yeah.
I actually was going to say I taste more ginger beer in this than I
Yeah.
do whiskey
Yeah.
or bourbon, whatever this happens to be, or rye. This is a rye whiskey,
This is the
Yeah.
rye bourbon.
rye bourbon. Okay,
But I'm not. yeah, it's ginger beers all but on.
the ginger beer is
Getting a
very
hint
very
of whiskey.
overpowering.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they do that because the rye is more overpowering, and they're trying to generalize the palate for a
Well,
smoother drink
that's
and a
one thing
cocktail.
about-
Sorry, Sam.
So I am not alcohol advanced as you guys are in the education of all things alcohol. What the bloody hell is the difference between a bourbon and a whiskey? They're both
Oh,
brown
damn.
and they both kind of burn.
Nothing.
Nothing.
People want to say you can only make bourbon in Kentucky, but that's just not true. It's just the mash, your mash bill.
Yeah.
So some people want to be
It has to be a certain percent of this made with a certain water. Blah 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 blah.
51% corn mash. You got a bourbon or a whiskey.
This way, Sam.
So they're being elitist jerks about it.
Yes.
Pretty much. Now, there's even people who even argue, even if they actually came from, if it's Kentucky or if it was Bourbon Street.
Yeah. Kentucky
So-
whiskey. Yeah.
So it's like champagne. Champagne only
Yeah.
comes from champagne.
Yeah.
you're more of a beer drinker. Look at it this way. What's the biggest difference between a pilsner and a lager?
Not a doggone thing.
Not much difference other than the name
There's
between
the
those two
process.
types of beers,
And
a
process.
slight difference in the process. That's it.
I mean, okay. So,
So-
is it the process portion that's
Yes.
making it the difference?
The grain bill.
Process on the location.
Okay, and then rye that's just the mash or whatever
Rye-
the grain that they use to
Ingredients.
make.
You're using a lot more. They're obviously rye. You have to have a certain
So
percentage.
difference between a wheat beer and an ale.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Gotcha.
it's still a beer,
Still a beer, but
but you use more wheat. You can call it a wheat beer. Less wheat, you can't.
gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
like Bullet had said here, even their bourbon contains 28% rye, and so it's almost already a rye. And they just to bump it to a true rye, they're throwing a lot more rye in there
Gotcha.
on
Gotcha.
on the mash.
I want to know what the ginger beer was because that was delicious. I think that's what's got
We'll
me
get that later.
confused on the other one. It's like I'm getting a lot more ginger beer.
Yeah, well, like Jordan said.
than the rye. So,
My thought is the reason they did that was because rye is a little, at least on my palate, rye is a little harsher.
Now that's again the bullet. We're going to have the bullet rye because it's not. I see you're going with a lot of the ryes. I think people get a harsher flavor from the rye, but I love the flavor of rye. I think it gives it a more body to that bourbon or whiskey that it's just amazing.
Sure.
But the bullet I think is very smooth. You get some dark fruity flavors out of it. The aroma is very good. It's much smoother rye than you get from other stuff. We won't talk about the other ones on this show, but we'll do another one. But it's an excellent bourbon rye, especially one to start out with if you haven't had it before.
I think we should delve in, if you guys haven't already, and you may have in one of the previous shows that I wasn't in, delve into a little more of that, classifications between, and get into some of the, and we can still make fun of it, but get into the nerdy stuff of the bourbon versus the rye versus the whiskey. And
we will.
Do we got a class? I'm sure we can get somebody to get a class on that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, after we took a break, we had a rep here from Bullet, and they said they'd love to come on the show, so they want to come back, maybe to Alley's Ale House or Stacked Pickle again and do another show. So
They're just getting permission now.
They have to do it legally and get permission.
Yeah.
Right. So we will get more of that. Bullet would love to join us some night, so we'll actually have Bullet rep on, and we'll talk about whiskey and bourbon and rye whiskey and scotch and whatever we want to talk about.
I will say this: there was an episode before you came aboard, Pat. Cowboy couldn't show up, so it was one of those shows where it was Brendan and I. And we said, we got to have something to fill the night. So we decided we were going to do a beer school night. We were going to educate people on the different styles of beer. Now, Brendan and I are pretty good at the different styles of beer.
Yeah,
but this show turned into,
I think I heard
a
about
college
that one.
lecture. And it was so bad. We listened back, we're like, holy shit, I feel like there's going to be students sitting in chairs listening to us falling asleep. So we never aired it. But we did actually attempt a Beer School 101 episode. It just never aired.
Yeah, can you break it down by different beers and different styles?
We did.
Just tried,
but like for a show.
But they're not very funny.
That's where I think that's what we've been doing is try and do one or two and keep it there.
Keep it there and throwing in the zaniness.
Yeah, we literally started at the top and tried to break it down on a whole show, and it turned out into a college lecture.
Oh wow!
It was an hour of Brendan and I going back and forth lecturing you on beer styles. And we found it to be so boring ourselves that we never aired that episode.
There was no humor.
I heard
about
that.
One.
No, it was no humor. Yeah. It was literally like a factual sit down, please grab your piece of paper and your pencil, start to take notes.
Now,
Ladies and
class.
gentlemen, let's begin the lecture now.
We need comedians or, what would be the word, guinea pigs to just sit all the liquors in front of them and say, this is a rye, drink that. This is a bourbon, drink that.
Oh.
And then eventually get them so sloshed that we can just start making fun of them all night.
Actually, I think I know someone that would do that.
Clark, would that be you?
No.
That'd be funny. Do you guys know any funny people? That'd be great.
I think Sam would do that.
Oh.
I think
All right.
we can get some funny people from Sam.
Yeah, we could do that. I need to set a day afterwards.
It's all right. We'll just make sure you're not working.
Well, I got one boss here, so I'm pretty sure I can work something out. The other one, I'm already getting told you got to choose.
We'll get you. We'll get a couple of your comedian friends to come down and be guinea pigs for our 101 class.
101. Bourbon.
Right. Here, chew on these hops. No.
Now,
take a bigger handful for Beer 101.
All right, so we got to bring it back in. I think we're getting pretty close to our hour here. So once again, we want to thank the Stacked Pickle for having us here tonight.
Yes.
This is if you haven't been out here, this is a really good venue. They do have good food. They've got a pretty good craft beer selection. They do have some good local spirits as well. Louisville, even though it's in Kentucky, I consider that still to be a local craft spirit.
Sure.
It's close enough.
It's local.
Yeah. So
they're opening one in Shelby. They're opening a distillery in Shelbyville.
There you go. Yeah. So make sure you come out. They've got a lot of events going on. I know he said they have trivia on Tuesdays. It's also $2 and $3 pint night.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Live music on the patio on Wednesdays. Yep. So they have a lot of events through the week. Make sure you come out and check out the Stacked Pickle located at 131st and Highway 37 in Fishers.
Yeah.
Make sure you try some Bullet whiskey, Bullet bourbon.
Tell the pig sent you.
Pull it rye, yeah.
Thank all our guests for coming on tonight.
Yeah,
Bryce from the Stacked Pickle, Sam, Clark hanging out with us tonight.
Don't forget to check out Sam starting again back in October, right? You're going to go back in October?
Going for that. Actually, I will be performing again. This August is for a children's benefit. Voices for Change. Singing is August 28th. Right. So it'll be at Morty's Comedy Club on 82nd Street. So giving out to a good cause there. That'll be really awesome when people come up. It's only $10. You can bring your kids. We'll be singing fun children's songs, Disney songs. So, yes.
Hey, so
I have a solo. I will be singing Under the Sea.
Oh, darn. I thought you were going with Frozen.
No, I'm not doing Frozen. Also, I think I'll be playing the part of Pumbaa for Hakuna Matata. I'll be doing that, too. So, a lot of good music, but it's for a good cause. You know,
so you're not going back old school to like Zippity Doo Dah?
Well, so funny you should mention that. So there's a different version for that, and the person who set it up, I was like, "Oh, we're doing Zippity Doo Dah." Okay, yeah, the song of the South, right? All right, cool, fine, not a problem. I had no problem with it. It's a good song. She's like, "No, but the imagery for that song is it's too bad." And it's just too racist. I can't do it. But we got a different version. I'm like, it's still the same song. We're singing it differently? I don't understand. But you know what? Great lady. Heart is in a great place. We're really doing something
good.
Because it's a real problem, child abuse and stuff. Like, don't want to have the sour note. But, if we're going to have fun and bring the kids involved and give money to help people get out of bad situations, let's do that and have fun with it. So.
This is an all-day event? Or is this
so this will be at 5 o'clock. It'll be 5 o'clock. I do have it on my Facebook wall. I'll be reposting it again.
All right.
To so if you guys see it, whatever, you can find me on Facebook, Sam Lloyd.
The pigs we'll repost that out for you.
We'll throw in the pig site and get it out there. And,
yeah. But yeah, definitely.
All right, and then Clark, as always, one of our biggest fans. Clark, thanks for coming out.
You got to bring this up now after that.
Well, of course.
Quiet Clark.
He is quiet Clark. He's not quite Clark when we brew, only quiet Clark when he's on the show.
Well, yeah, I know. You throw a mic in his face, he gets all confused. We need to shape the mic like a beer bottle, and he will be all over that.
He's not used to hard, long objects in his face like you, Pat.
Well, I think it's the wrong tone for him. Maybe if you made it lighter and thinner, he'll be more comfortable.
Damn it, we're feeding him alcohol.
Hey. All right. So on that note, everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you next time.
Countdown to a night on the town. Hear the music all around. See the people getting down when they hear that sound. They turn it up loud now. Turn it up. They turn it up loud now. Gonna teach you how to groove, what you came here for. And by the end, you'll be begging for more. You just gotta start moving, get your ass on the dance floor. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4. Count with me now. First time when you hear the rhyme, it's gonna knock you down. It's gonna blow your mind, and on two, it's just me and you. We can rock all night just like we wanted to do. And when I get to 3, you're gonna sing with me. Make you believe you can be anything you wanna be. And when we get to 4, you'll be begging for more. You'll be grooving, getting down on the dance floor. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, you over there, don't just sit there and stare. I don't know if you're aware that the sound is everywhere. And if you care and if you dare, then the squirrels are there with the flair to get you up and get you out of your chair and make you bear it all. Just count it with me now. First time when you hear the rhyme, it's gonna knock you down. It's gonna blow your mind, and on to just me and you. We can rock all night just like we wanted to do. When I get to 3, you're gonna sing with me. Make you believe you can be anything you wanna be. And when we get to 4, you'll be begging for more. You'll be grooving, getting down on the dance floor. Come on, Donnie. Show 'em how it's done, son. See, people to appease me now, please just get down on your knees and start counting up with me. No need to feel queasy, and by the time we get to 3, you're gonna feel the need to get a little sleazy and breezy and easy. Don't tease me now. I told you it was easy. First time when you hear the rhyme, it's gonna knock you down. It's gonna blow your mind, and on to just me and you. We can rock all night just like we wanted to do. When I get to 3, you're gonna sing with me. Make you believe you can be anything you wanna be. And when we get to 4, you'll be begging for more. You'll be grooving, getting down on the dance floor. First time when you hear the rhyme, it's gonna knock you down. It's gonna blow your mind, and on to it's just me and you. We can rock all night just like we wanted to do. And when I get to 3, you're gonna sing with me. Make you believe you can be anything you wanna be. And when we get to 4, you'll be begging for more. You'll be grooving, getting down on the dance floor. On 5, you're gonna feel alive, and on 6, you'll be deep in the mix. And by 7, we'll be turning it up to 11. By the time we get to 8, we'll be feeling great. Oh yeah, just like 1, 2, 3, 4.